Hi. So for my assignment, I decided to do a video just because of the fact that I think a video gets my point across. So for this assignment, we had to watch the documentary. Now, the documentary's audience would probably be around young adults to older people. Just because I say that, because he himself said that it's not meant for children, just because of what happens, the romantic scenes in it, the war, the death, the anguish. It is not meant for kids. So the documentary itself is not meant for kids because he curses because he's confused, he's upset at something, or you can see his frustration, and that also portrays an animation because the animation is just not meant for kids, truthfully. When it comes to the argument of the documentary, the argument is, why am I making this animation? Now, he gets to the conclusion that he's making the animation because of the fact that it needs to be done. No matter what happens, it needs to happen because of the fact of what it touches upon, about life moving on and getting over extremely difficult times, but getting over with it together. Now, the evidence he uses during that is his own experience and the fact that he has videos and it's not nationwide, it's countrywide, that they had a gigantic earthquake that killed a lot of people, and it was extremely bad. It was very, very bad. So that was a time when they did not want the movie to be made because of what it touched upon, and they did not to want to upset people because it was politically. I mean, it was in the eyes of everybody, so they did not want to hurt anybody's feelings. But he continued to progress no matter what happened, just because of the fact that it needed to happen, whether they liked it or not. Then he also used evidence of everything that he went through. He had his own pains, his own growing pain, his own pains making the movie, just because of the fact that he's an older man and he has to do more than expected of him. Now, all of this evidence was portrayed everywhere, and they were like, you need to stop making this movie. Why are you making this movie? It's not important. It's just a movie. Let's just make another movie. Even his wife was saying, let's just make another movie. You shouldn't make this movie. He did not care. This movie needed to be made, and I completely agree with that, just because of what happened during the movie. So in the end, he did it. He freaking did it, and it was a success. It was sold out everywhere, and it brought people together. It did not divide, it brought people together because of what was in the movie and the emotions that were felt in the movie. Now, when it comes to it being successful and it addressing all of the main points, yes, the main points were, why should you make it? He showed why he should make it. He made it, and it even showed that it was one of the best movies ever made. So it was a very much so successful, and it did get the response that it was due. And it even went farther than that because of the fact that it touched a lot of people's hearts that went through that pain themselves. And not only from the earthquakes and stuff like that and people missing and dying, but also war itself, because war does that to you. And that was the entire premise of the movie. The inventor going around and trying to survive the war as best as he could. Now, when it comes to the organization and logical manner, it was logical to make the movie just because of the fact of everybody's emotions towards the war and, death and violence. It needed to be made just because of the fact, I say this not because I'm biased toward, and I say, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. I say this because logically, if that movie had never been made, resentment would have built up. It would have been there. Everybody would have known it was there. Resentment would have just kept building up over and over again because people were angry about all of the death and destruction that was happening around them. And they forgot to see the big picture of life, that life moves on no matter how hard it gets. So logically, it was a perfect way to express that emotion. And the documentary shows that as well. It shows the logical side of what he was thinking, like the not only the artistic side of him, but the logical side, like, we need to do this because it's the right thing to do at this point in time. Any other time it would have probably bombed, but this time right now, we need to do it. Logically, he freaking pushed it, and it worked. I don't know how, but it worked. Now, when it comes to the writer's use of appropriate vocabulary and tone, his vocabulary, he talked, but he did not talk a lot. And I only say this because he's artistic. And when you have that art in your veins, like when you're artistic no matter what you do, you don't use a lot of words to express what you feel. You just say a few things and everybody understands it. His tone towards it was extremely intense just because he wanted it to succeed and he was in a lot of pain physically. He needed this to succeed. And so he's like, I'm going to push it no matter what happens. So his tone was dedication. Now, he did waver a little bit. He got confused. He got sad, upset. He was frustrated. He was losing passion. But he went back on that train and he did it. For this video, it was by far an amazing accomplishment. And I have more respect for him than I did before because of watching this. So, if anything, you should, if you watch the documentary, you should watch the movie if you've never seen it, just because of what it talks about and the emotions that they go through. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that was enough to get the point across of what I was trying to say. Thank you.